Hello and welcome. You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha Khanna. And on this show, we are going to talk about the politics unfolding in poll-bound Rajasthan. A lot has been said about the Congress leadership's desperate efforts to work out a peace formula in the party's Rajasthan unit after months or rather years of internal wrangling and an endless power tussle between Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and his former deputy and now Betunwa, Sachin Pilot. But was that truce really short-lived? Latest media reports suggest that the man once described as the Congress's young Turk and future Chief Minister, Sachin Pilot, has had enough and is contemplating walking out of the grand old party and floating his own political outfit. If reports are to be believed, this party could be called Pragatishil Congress, and Pilot may in fact announce its launch on the 11th of June, the death anniversary of his late father and veteran Congress leader Rajesh Pilot. Reports also say Congress's dissident leader is being helped with the groundwork for the formation of his new political party by Prashant Kishore's political consultancy firm IPAC. There's also speculation about the possibility of Pilot aligning with the Hanuman Beniwal's Rashtriya Loktantrik Party and the Aam Aadmi Party as part of a possible third front in Rajasthan, which goes to polls later this year. Remember, in recent months, Sachin Pilot has publicly attacked his own party's government in Rajasthan, and the primary brunt of his attacks has been borne by Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Not only that, Pilot even held a one-day fast in April and a 5-day Padyatra in May in protest against the Gehlot government's alleged inaction against corruption. Pilot has also accused Gehlot of being hand in glove with BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. Of course, this is an ongoing battle. In the past, Gehlot has publicly accused Pilot of colluding with the BJP to topple his government. The question now is, can the Congress prevent yet another prominent leader from leaving its fold? Can the party still manage to placate Sachin Pilot and accommodate him in a larger national role? Or is it already too late for that? Is Pilot ready to take off, snap ties with the Congress and launch his own party? Will Pilot's exit be a serious setback to the Congress? Can he hurt the party in the upcoming Rajasthan Assembly polls? Will other Congress MLAs follow Sachin Pilot and leave the party? What would such a move mean for Sachin Pilot, the Congress party and Rajasthan politics?
In view of the upcoming Rajasthan Assembly election, Congress President and Rahul Gandhi ji had a detailed 4-hour-long discussion with Ashok Gehlot ji and Sachin Pilot ji and in charge also. In this discussion, we have decided to fight election unitedly. Both of are in agreement that Congress party has to go together and definitely we will win election in Rajasthan.
और मेरा ख्याल है कि अखबारों में और मीडिया में कुछ लोग उछाल रही हैं बात, और ऐसी बात कोई नहीं है। अभी तक कोई बात नहीं है, मेरे ख्याल ये बात होगी भी नहीं।
सर, दिल्ली में 4 घंटे बैठक हुई, क्या उसमें?
देखिए, हमने 4 घंटे बैठकर अलग अलग बात राहुल जी और खड़गे जी और वेणुगोपाल जी ने इनके साथ बात की है, और इन दोनों की जो बातें थी उनको बड़े ध्यान से और प्यार से सुना गया, और दोनों को कहा गया कि आप इकट्ठे मिलकर कांग्रेस के एसेट हैं, दोनों मिलकर काम करेंगे, और दोनों ने कहा कि हम दोनों मिलकर काम करेंगे।
All right. Let's now go across to our guests. Joining me on the show today, Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist. Gautam Mukherjee, also senior journalist, is with us, as is Manasvi Thapar, political analyst in the support of the Congress. Rashid Kidwai, let me start with you. On the 29th of May, KC Venugopal, flanked by Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, gave that soundbite to the media saying, "We will fight the Rajasthan elections unitedly." Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge held 4-hour-long discussions with the two leaders. But it looks like the truce may have been short-lived. If the latest reports are to be believed, Sachin Pilot has had enough and is all set to take off. He may have decided to leave the Congress, launch his own political party, and he may in fact announce it on the 11th of June. That happens to be the death anniversary of his father. What are your sources telling you? Has Sachin Pilot had enough? Has he completely run out of patience? And has he decided to now strike out on his own?
Thank you, Neha. I think somewhat this whole build-up of he is splitting a party or leaving the party is bit exaggerated. The ball is in Congress central leadership's court. There were certain assurances, a roadmap was worked out on the meeting that you are referring to on May 29th, and the Congress, that means Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and KC Venugopal, has to communicate certain things to Mr. Ashok Gehlot. Remember, Mr. Sachin Pilot had sat on a dharna and done Padyatra for 2, 3 demands. One demand is very simple and not difficult to implement. That is about, having some kind of Ashok Gehlot government are going for some kind of probe against the alleged cases of corruption, etc., against the previous Vasundhara Raje government. Now, this is a very doable thing. I don't know why it is causing a delay. From my understanding, I don't think Mr. Sachin Pilot is going anywhere. He is there. He would wait for every day. See, the June 11th that you're talking about, it's a very solemn occasion for Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot, he is young, but he's also very measured. He's very restrained. He doesn't act, on impulse or emotions. So I don't see him walking out of Congress on his own unless the Congress acts against him. So, which I also know that Mr. Kharge or Rahul Gandhi would not do. So, this thing is going to go on. It's going to be a protracted, war of attrition. There seems to be brinkmanship, but a solution is very much is on the cards.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai, I want to ask you this. It is certainly not my case that Sachin Pilot is all set to leave the party and launch his own political outfit. These are, of course, reports that have come out. Now, you referred to some of the demands that he's raised. You're saying that they're not particularly difficult to meet. One is a probe against former Chief Minister and BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. He wants the Rajasthan Public Service Commission to be reconstituted, and he wants compensation for youth who suffer due to question paper leaks. However, Rashid Kidwai, you have covered the Congress party for a very long time. You know the party better than most others. Let's face it, Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot's feud is not confined to these issues at all. In fact, most Congress observers will agree that it has absolutely nothing to do with corruption or, what the Rajasthan government has done or not done. This is a power tussle that has gone on for far too long now. And Sachin Pilot, there are many who believe that the man has simply lost patience. He's waited too long to be anointed chief minister. That hasn't happened. Plus, you have an, wily old fox like Ashok Gehlot, who people say, wants the man out of the party because he's publicly accused Sachin Pilot of colluding with the BJP to topple his government in Rajasthan. So my question is simply this. At this point in time, with Rajasthan elections now just months away, what can the Congress party do to placate Sachin Pilot, to ensure that another prominent leader, a young Turk, does not leave the fold of the party? Do you think he can, for example, be accommodated in a larger national role? Is that something that is being considered at the highest levels? Is that something that would satisfy Sachin Pilot? Because clearly, he's not becoming chief minister anytime soon.
Yeah, I think Neha, you've asked a very pertinent, a very astute question. The long and short of it, as you have yourself said, is an ego clash, and there is a kind of utter lack of coexistence as far as Rajasthan Congress is concerned between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. Now it's a very difficult situation. So all those meetings have taken place. Now the thing is, it's about optics. That you say a way out for Sachin getting a role in national level and all, it's easier said than done, because Sachin Pilot, having been in state politics since 2024, you will need some reason to move out of it, and he needs some concrete action, and that is why I'm saying these doable things would provide some kind of fig leaf to him. The second thing would be whether he becomes a state party president, a post that he was holding from 2014 to 2020, or he becomes
or campaign manager, but then would that be acceptable to Gehlot? Because Gehlot, it seems, does not want Sachin Pilot to have any say in the running of the party or the government.
Yes, so Neha, you see, this is not Mr. Ashok Gehlot's party. This is International Congress. So Mr. Gehlot and Sachin Pilot both are pragmatic people, reasonable people. They may be having a huge ego clash. So there is going to be things in the spirit of give and take. Therefore, I am saying this is a starting point that I am suggesting, that let there be some of the demand that Sachin Pilot has made. Let Mr. Vidhu Gopal and Kharge fulfill it. Then the stage two will come, whether Sachin would, be a state president, would be a campaign committee in charge, would become a AICC general secretary. Mr. Ashok Gehlot cannot be running the party with, his whims and fancies. As I said, this is not like the YSR Congress. This is not like Mamata Banerjee's TMC. It's not a one-person political party. No matter what people say, even the Gandhis have, certain restrictions, and that is why they have not been able to, bulldoze their way vis-a-vis Ashok Gehlot. Tricky situation, but still, some kind of resolution can be there. I'm not saying it's in sight, but it's there because Mr. Sachin Pilot's maturity, a solution is very much on the cards.
Okay, a solution you're saying is on the cards, but let's not forget that, you're talking about his maturity, but this is the same man who's been publicly attacking his own party's government in Rajasthan. He's been publicly taking on his own chief minister, and obviously that has caused a lot of discomfiture to the Congress party. It's another matter that, the central leadership has been hoping that just like they've managed to broker peace between Siddharamaiah and DK Shivkumar in Karnataka, that they would be able to replicate that in Rajasthan. But Manasvi Thapar, I'm not sure if Rajasthan is Karnataka. Yes, the Congress party very successfully managed to bring two warring leaders in Karnataka together. They successfully, fought the elections and won it for the Congress party in Karnataka. There was a major tussle about, over who would be chief minister. That has also, at least so far, been peacefully and successfully handled by the central leadership of the party. But Rajasthan seems to be a different kettle of fish altogether. Elections are just months away, and Sachin Pilot continues to attack Ashok Gehlot publicly. Ashok Gehlot, it seems, wants Sachin Pilot to have absolutely no say in the running of the government or the party in Rajasthan. What can the central leadership do now to ensure that Sachin Pilot can be placated on the eve of an important election? Because media reports suggest the man may have had enough and may be contemplating leaving the party. That could hurt you in the upcoming polls.
Yeah, Neha, this is not a very new thing for the Congress. I think Congress is the oldest political party of this country, and the first person to leave Congress was Motilal Nehru, and he formed his own party known as Swaraj Party in 1923. And there have been multiple examples of great leaders who have left Congress and they have come back, from A.K. Anthony to Pranab Da to Goa's People's Congress to Democratic Democratic Congress to Arunachal Congress, Rashtriya Samaj Wadi Congress of Pranab Da. Everyone have gone out and they have come back. That is not a very big deal in Congress, because Congress as a political party since independence and post and pre-independence and post-independence have created a large number of leaders for this country. And Congress as a party, we may agree or not as per the present scenario, but has been an incubation for greatest of great leader which has come out from Congress. So having said that, obviously the Congress is the political party which have had 2-3 multiple leaders in a state like Rajasthan, and in Karnataka also. It is not a political party which is run by one particular person or controlled by a remote control. It is an incubation of creating leaders, and definitely when leaders are there are different ideas of taking the leadership. There are different ideas of viewing how they have to run the state or the center. That is allowed in Congress. That is the democracy of Congress, to let different ideas prosper, and that is why the ego clashes or the leadership decision clashes can come in the way. And right now it is too early, too nascent to say that Sachin Pilot is going, because this is a speculation which has been going on since the time Ashok Gehlot have been made the chief minister, and since the time Rajasthan Congress won the election. This is a speculation going on every 6 months. It comes back in focus that Sachin Pilot is leaving Congress, going to BJP or forming a new political party. But the maturity is so shown by Sachin Pilot, while his contemporaries have lost down to BJP and given up to BJP. But Sachin Pilot had held his hands with Congress since the time he started his politics. So I don't think so this is going to be a true information. It is a speculation which could be there, but I don't see there is any merits on this, because Sachin Pilot's maturity and the vote bank, this is a political party which have made Sachin Pilot, and Sachin Pilot also have given so much to the political party which is Congress. So I don't think there is any kind of divorce happening between Sachin Pilot and Congress. On the contrary, the top leadership and Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot all know how important Sachin Pilot is for Rajasthan and for Congress. No one is going to miss out on this particular step. After a victory of Karnataka, they would never want, even the top leaders would not want to repeat a Madhya Pradesh situation here. They would want the unit of Congress to be intact. These are just rumors from my understanding. No one is going anywhere. It's going to be an intact unit of Congress. This is what my belief is. If they have to win Rajasthan.
Okay, you've made some interesting points. I'm glad you candid in acknowledging what happened in Madhya Pradesh. You were saying after Karnataka, the Congress certainly would not want to self-sabotage, something the party is known to do. You believe nobody is going anywhere. You're also saying a long list of leaders have left the party. Many have come back. Let me throw at you a few names of leaders who've left and never came back. Gulam Nabi Azad, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Kapil Sibal, Jitendra Prasad, RPN Singh, Sunil Jakhar, Ashwini Kumar, Hardik Patel, Alpesh Thakur, Himanta Biswa Sarma. It's a very long list, and I'm only talking about leaders who've left in the last few years. And yes, leaders like Jyotiraditya Scindia, their exit have hurt you because he managed to topple your government in Madhya Pradesh. Himanta Biswa Sarma has hurt you in the northeast. I'm coming to you. Manasvi, my question to you is this. For the longest time now, people have asked, what can the Congress central leadership do to placate Sachin Pilot? Everybody knows he wanted to be chief minister. That's not happened till date. Elections are around the corner. What can the party do to accommodate Sachin Pilot and to ensure that he does not leave the party? Will he, for example, be considered for the post of Rajasthan Congress chief? A post he's held in the past? Could he be made campaign committee chief? Would any of that be acceptable to Gehlot? Because Gehlot watchers will say the answer to that is no. Or could he in fact be considered for a national role? Something like, the kind of role that Randeep Singh Surjewala was given, General Secretary in charge of maybe another state. I mean, I know we are only speculating, but the question is, what really are the options before the party if they are to ensure that another prominent leader does not leave its fold?
See, it is not very easy for any political person who makes his political party just a day he made a political party and another day he comes back. When Motilal Nehru in 1923 left the political party, he came back in 1983. He came back in 1936. When Pranab Da made in 1986, he came after 6 years. So it takes time. But the ideological war with forming your own political party and with Congress is that ideologically all those people who have left Congress have left because of various other political reasons, but ideologically they are by blood are Congressy. So now coming back to your major question, how do you fit in? I think it's a major task for them because he's a young leader, he's a dynamic leader, he's someone who has proved his results, and definitely he has to be accommodated. If not the chief minister, something which they have worked out in Karnataka, maybe a deputy for him, or maybe taking him to the central leadership has to be there, because he is someone wherein the youth look up to him. He is someone who has shown patience. He's someone who has shown his loyalty. He's someone who's a complete package in terms of a proper workman who has given his heart and soul for the political party, which is Congress. So it is now the duty of the leaders in the top to accommodate him, understand his demands, and create a structure wherein there is a harmony between the old guard and the new guard. This has to be properly established. This is the only link which is missing in the Congresses. They don't understand the immediate requirement of making a harmonical situation between the old guard and the new guard. Still, the Congress is in the habit of trusting the old guard and not giving the appropriate chance to the new guard. This is something which they need to overcome. I think with the new Congress, which I would say after winning Karnataka, have to accommodate the new guards and have to give new chances to people like Sachin Pilot, who are dynamic, who want to do something for the country, for the state, and contribute to the Congress. I think this is going to be a churning of it. This is going to be a new learning for Congress also. It has to re-establish a step. If they have to do this new learning. They have to unlearn what they have learned in so many years. Now they have to create a new era of Congress wherein they accommodate new faces, young faces who are dynamic in nature.
Okay, I'm glad that you're being candid. When you say that the Congress party has a habit of thrusting the old guard on the new guard, at least as far as choice of chief minister goes. We've seen that happen in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. The question really is, what happens next? Is Sachin Pilot seriously contemplating leaving the party? And if he does, could he seriously hurt the Congress on the eve of a crucial election? Because there might already be anti-incumbency against the Grand Old Party in the state of Rajasthan. Let me bring in Gautam Mukherjee. Gautam Mukherjee, the BJP and its supporters must be watching this situation unfold with absolute glee. Of course, Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot have been publicly at war for a very long time now. But even though Manasvi Thapar says that, the speculation has gone on for way too long, there's no merit in it, fact of the matter is that now Rajasthan elections are just months away. Therefore, what according to you is likely to happen next? Do you believe there is enough reason, for Sachin Pilot at this point to say, I have had enough, I am going to leave this party and strike out on my own, launch his own political outfit, do something of the sort that, let's say, Jagan Mohan Reddy has done in the past and hurt the Congress in a big way?
Well, we're talking on the 6th and the 11th is a few days away. And he's chosen a day which has some significance in his life because it is to do with his father. His father wasn't given an even break, neither has Sachin Pilot. But Sachin Pilot has been a very loyal congressman. He's had the greatest difficulty in dealing with the umbilical cord. He's been let down most soundly by the Gandhis, and he has lingered on, and this whole drama has been playing out for months, if not years, because he wants somebody to do some justice to him. They haven't managed to do so. And to say in 5 days that they're going to would be indeed a miracle. And would it be convincing as far as Sachin Pilot goes? Sachin Pilot is not a Surjewala. Surjewala is basically a bag carrier who's been given a job at last. Sachin Pilot is a leader that actually had a lot to do with Rajasthan being won because he was in charge of the campaign. After the campaign, he got diddled out of it because they insist on picking the old people. Now, as far as Gehlot goes, Gehlot has cocked a snook at the Gandhis, said, I am not going to do what you want, and the Gandhis have eaten humble pie. So Gehlot is in a position more than Sachin Pilot to start his own party and win in Rajasthan. As far as Sachin Pilot goes, I think he's forced to go that route. And if he does, obviously, it'll have some impact, though he doesn't have very many followers amongst the present flock. But part of this is to do with the fact that he has failed, rather like Sharad Pawar, every time he came close to the prime ministership, he kind of chickened out, couldn't bite the bullet. And Sachin Pilot has always been like that. Lots of threats, but when it comes threats and persuasions and so on, the whole melodrama. But when it comes down to it, he doesn't seem to have the grit to go his own way or to move elsewhere. And this is sensed by his followers. And that's why he doesn't have that many followers amongst the present MLAs in Rajasthan. Whereas Gehlot is whatever you may say about him, he's got the guts, and therefore he has the glory.
So and fact of the matter is, Gehlot did have the support of a majority of MLAs. When the Congress won the election last time, exactly what's happened in the case of Siddaramaiah in Karnataka. And the Congress party says we had to bow before the wishes of a majority of the MLAs.
Neha, you're talking about Karnataka, but that's a time bomb about to go off. It's going to take a while, but it's not over till it's over. As you can see, they're not able to implement so easily all their 5 promises. DK's been diddled out of it. And I think he's only 64. He's gonna wait for his moment.
Yes.
Right now, Siddaramaiah, okay, but DK hasn't given up.
No, he
And
clearly has not, and in fact, he
he's
told
a
the media
much,
recently that
much
he has no
stronger
choice
fellow.
but to be patient. But you know, then many would say, coming back to Sachin Pilot, he's shown patience and restraint. He's waited for his turn, but his turn hasn't come yet. But it's interesting. Gautam Mukherjee has made a series of interesting remarks, which seem to almost suggest as if he is egging Sachin Pilot on to leave the Congress and make some
He
bold
has the
moves.
grit.
I think you're almost saying, Sachin, tum sangharsh karo, hum tumhare saath hain. But on a more serious note, Rashid Kidwai, let me come back to you at this point. You know, this whole debate around old guard versus new guard, it seems to have haunted the Congress party for way too long now. Now, of course, you could say that it is the BJP supporters who seem to have the most sympathy for Congress dissidents like Sachin Pilot. But fact of the matter is, there are many who would acknowledge that he is one of those bright young leaders in the party who has, at least thus far, exhibited loyalty. Isn't it time for him to be rewarded for that loyalty? But the Congress party is often accused of failing its leaders, many of whom end up leaving out of frustration and utter disillusionment because they do not see a future for themselves in the party. How do you think the Congress party can prevent or rather, avoid repeating those mistakes of the past in the case of Sachin Pilot?
Yeah, so I think Neha, that intra-party disputes cannot be settled in a television studio. Nor is the age very important factor. It's fashionable to talk about youth and age, etc. But it doesn't work. You look at Karnataka, where Congress has achieved success under the leadership of a 75-year-old person. So therefore, you see, it's not that it's all the people of Karnataka have voted for youth. The fact that you read out a long list of people who have left the party, they joined the BJP. You look at the success rate of those who have formed their own party. Today, in an article, I have argued that when it's a linguistic state, in case of Jagan Mohan Reddy, Mamata Banerjee, Sharad Pawar, and all, the breakaway groups have thrived and have become very successful models. But in the Hindi heartland, with the exception of Chaudhry Charan Singh way back in 1960s, the political, the breakaway Congress groups have not been very successful. They had to come back to the parent organization. Sachin Pilot, you must remember, was a deputy, chief minister in 2020, in July 2020, and as he was, PCC chief. Why would he break the party, form party, his own outfit, struggle, and then end up becoming or bargaining for a deputy chief minister post, depending upon who is bargaining with, or work under whimsical person like Mr. Arvind Kejriwal? So these are not easy choices. I mean, politician end of the day is very pragmatic. We can go on saying whatever Mr. Ashok Gehlot is, the kind of injustices delivering and all, but Sachin knows age is on his side, and therefore, and second thing, he is not given up on the Gandhis. So the ball, as I keep saying in the beginning of the conversation, it is for the Congress to make some corrective measures, offer some sops. Whether it happens in this week or not, we are we would get to know. And after that, what Sachin do? I think in all probability, Sachin will float a kind of some kind of forum or a front within the Congress and invite some kind of disciplinary action, either from the state unit or from the central unit. So it's going to be protected battle. Mr. Sachin Pilot has made a lot of investment in the Congress, emotional investment, physical investment. He is a one bright spot. If you look at the Congress today, he is one of the people, the 5 leaders you can count on, like Shashi Tharoor and others. So he's one of them. Therefore, the Congress would also not like to lose. So this is a bit of war of attrition at present. Let's not jump to any conclusion.
You know, it's very interesting. You acknowledge, and I think most of us acknowledge, that Sachin Pilot is a bright young leader of the party. But you know what they say, Rashid Kidwai, the joke is that all those so-called bright young leaders who become darlings of Delhi media are the first to be sidelined by the Congress party leadership. I don't think it's augured too well for other such leaders in the past. I'm not sure, us rooting or batting for Sachin Pilot is necessarily going to change his fortunes. But on a more serious note, let me flip this around. Gautam Mukherjee made the point that Sachin Pilot has been dithering. He has issued threats. My question is to Rashid Kidwai, because he has to leave us in the next 5 minutes. I will come back to Gautam Mukherjee, of course. But, Rashid Kidwai, Gautam Mukherjee said that Sachin Pilot has issued threats time and again, but he's been dithering. He's not really taken any decision so far about leaving the party, joining the Congress, or launching his own political front. And his followers would see that as a sign of weakness. Therefore, let me ask you this. If Sachin Pilot were to, in fact, take the plunge, and let's say launch his own political party, do you believe he is actually in a position to be able to hurt the Congress party politically and electorally? Another important question would be, how many Congress MLAs do you think would follow him?
You see, would he hurt the Congress? Yes, immensely. How many MLAs would leave? Maybe small, but because it's only 6 months are left, so it's inconsequential, because in after 6 months, there are going to be, in any case, assembly elections. The end of the thing, the argument of all this thing is, what would he gain? Because if he gains, let's say, 30, 40 MLAs, next time around, there's a hung house. Again, I'm saying, with Vasundhara around, and of course, Ashok Gehlot being Ashok Gehlot, what is his bargaining chip? So if he's going to be a deputy chief minister, then he was better off in 2020. The key point is that in last conversation that he had with Congress President and Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Kharge had given his own example. 3 times Mallikarjun Kharge failed to become, Chief Minister of Karnataka in 1999, in 2004, and at another occasion. So Mr. Kharge said that, look, if I had left the party, if I had, floated a regional outfit, or if I had joined some other thing, you would not have seen me sitting in as a Congress president chair. Remember, there are only 87 people in the entire 135, 136-year-old history of Congress who have got the, office of the Congress president, and Mr. Kharge is one of them. So this kind of thing is also there. As I keep saying, it's maturity is not about how you speak and how you quote kind of media. It's about a clinical approach, about your own roadmap. So I think Sachin would see himself, he would analyze it in a very critical manner. Where would he see 5 years from now? And that's a crucial call for him. And I think if the Congress can offer some kind of olive branch, some kind of hope, then of course he would be on board.
But
if he had to join the
Okay, complete your thought.
See, if he has to join the BJP, he would end up playing second fiddle to all those Gajendra Singhs and Vasundharas of the world.
Absolutely.
So therefore, what is his option? And having a master like Arvind Kejriwal, I don't want to elaborate, but I think your viewers would know what I mean.
Having a master like Arvind Kejriwal is not something that Sachin Pilot would necessarily want. But then, when you say what are his options outside of the Congress, I can flip that question around and say what are his options within the Congress party. Before you leave this show, let me put you on the spot, Rashid Kidwai, and ask you this question. Hypothetically, let's say the Congress wins the upcoming Rajasthan election, retains power, but does not manage to win an overwhelming majority, gets the kind of numbers it did last time. The wily old fox that Ashok Gehlot is will once again say that I alone can keep the flock together, a majority of legislators are with me, they want nothing to do with Sachin Pilot, I must stay on as Chief Minister. Where does that leave Sachin Pilot? He's been Deputy Chief Minister in the past, he's been Rajasthan Congress President in the past. Clearly, none of that is enough for him. And Ashok Gehlot has made it abundantly clear he has such a strong dislike for Sachin Pilot, he'd rather see the back of him.
Neha, it's a hypothetical question. I don't see actually at present, the ground situation is Congress winning, Rajasthan with a simple majority, etc. Second thing is that it is very erroneous to assume that Mr. Ashok Gehlot had, majority of MLAs on his side in December 14th, 2018, when the issue of chief minister was decided. It was through manipulation, monkey trick, all kind of things are there. I mean, again, Neha, I had written that when Sachin Pilot landed after winning from Tok, he went straight to, that house that Rahul Gandhi is vacated at Tughlaq, Crescent, 12th Tughlaq Crescent. And uh, Ashok Gehlot, having won from Sardarpura, when he landed at Palam, he straightway headed to, 23 Wellington Crescent, Mother Teresa Road, which was residence of Ahmed Patel. So there is a lot of things that had happened. The seat was a victory of Congress in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. Nobody had heard of Bhupesh Baghel, and today he's a very successful chief minister. When Captain Amrinder Singh left, not a single MLA went with him. So this is the stark reality of Congress party. We tend to exaggerate in media. I mean, I'm part of it. What I'm saying is that if Rahul Gandhi is serious, I'll just sum up in a very simple thing, like what I had heard about Mr. Sindhia's case also. That I think Mr. Sindhia got this realization that either Rahul Gandhi is not willing to do whatever Mr. Sindhia was looking for, or Rahul Gandhi was incapable of delivering whatever Mr. Sindhia was asking for. In both cases, he saw, end of the road for him in the Congress, so he left. So similar thing would be there for Sachin, but I think that stage has not come because Rahul Gandhi has said, "Wait, I am with you." So Mr.
Okay.
Sachin Pilot is
You know,
waiting.
okay, this is a movie we've seen before. I remember that famous Leo Tolstoy quote that Rahul Gandhi had posted on Twitter along with a picture where he was flanked by Kamal Nath and Jyotiraditya Scindia, the two leaders in Madhya Pradesh. We all know how that story panned out, Rashid Kidwai. But we leave it at that since I know you have to go. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Manasvi Thapar, on that note, let me come back to you. Rashid Kidwai says Jyotiraditya Scindia knew it was the end of the road for him. He left the Congress party. But that stage has not come yet for Sachin Pilot. So I'm going to ask you, as somebody who supports the Congress party and who is, of course, a bright young upcoming leader himself, what are Sachin Pilot's options? What can the party do to pacify him, to accommodate him, given that Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot can simply not see eye to eye on anything?
Yeah, I think Sachin Pilot has a very bright future in Rajasthan and in the central politics of this country. And when we talk about the Rajasthan politics itself, there are only three leaders when we talk about who can be the chief minister. It is either Vasundhara Raje or Ashok Gehlot or Sachin Pilot. There is no fourth person we can even think of in the Rajasthan scenario. And coming back to that, what are Sachin Pilot's demands? His genuine demand is doing something about the corruption of Vasundhara Raje. He's not demanding anything else. That does not mean that he's going to BJP. He's ideologically very much in the Congress. He ideologically believes in Congress. He breathes Congress. So there is nothing which is non-Congress about Sachin Pilot. On the contrary, he's against the leadership of Vasundhara Raje and her corruption. His only demand is, why is my political party, which is in power, not doing anything against Vasundhara Raje? So these are his basic and principal demands. And on matching this, he's not asking for any political position. I have not seen the demand coming either in media or in the Congress.
You're surely not that naive, Manasvi, that you don't believe that Sachin Pilot does not want his pound of flesh. You're seriously telling me that Sachin Pilot does not want to be chief minister? I mean, that's what this feud is all about. Come on.
Neha, it's all human to be aiming for the most important chair, that is the chief minister or the prime minister. Any person in this country who wants to be in politics would want to be there. There is no doubt about it. But how can you be there? That's the important question. And what are your demands? His demand and the anchan which you are showing of Sachin Pilot was against Vasundhara Raje. It was against Vasundhara Sarkar. So this was his basic demand. He was not sitting there for that I want to be the chief minister. But the basic demand was that I want to have the cases against Vasundhara Raje be opened up, be filed up, and do something on that. And BJP is very happy on a fight between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, but they don't understand the fight is because of Vasundhara Raje's corruption. They should
Why will they not be happy with it, Manasvi? It's politics. I mean, if they get to fish in troubled waters, tell me why would they not? Keeping your house in order is your headache, not the BJP's.
Precisely. But this has nothing to do with adding on BJP's vote bank. On the contrary, even if this house gets divided for a minute, if we think the Congress vote bank is going to be intact, Sachin Pilot's fight is going to be on the corruption of Vasundhara Raje. And he's going to damage the vote bank of the BJP Vasundhara Raje segment. So it is going to be a house of Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot coming back together. And then there would be a think tank thinking on who's going to be the chief minister. In any case, the patience factor have already paid for Sachin Pilot. He's the bright son of the soil. People of Rajasthan love him, though as of now he may not have the numbers in Congress. But if he's strongly moving forward, he's going to have the numbers. Age is on his side. There's nothing against Sachin Pilot. On the contrary, the House BJP is not even there in Rajasthan. So they are just.
We will have to wait till December to find out, Manasvi, because your party is already in power in Rajasthan. There could be anti-incumbency. Rajasthan, seems to have this revolving door policy. The incumbent is rarely re-elected in that state. So we really have to wait and see how that pans out. And it's interesting you say all Sachin Pilot wants is a probe against Vasundhara's government. But really remember that these are two leaders who've been fighting very, very publicly, and it's been a very bitter battle with Sachin Pilot accusing Ashok Gehlot of being hand in glove with Vasundhara Raje, and Ashok Gehlot actually accusing Sachin Pilot of colluding with the BJP to topple his government in Rajasthan. Last word to you, Gautam Mukherjee. Clearly, Sachin Pilot wants more than just a probe against Vasundhara. We all know he wanted to be chief minister. Now the term of the Congress is about to end in Rajasthan, unless, of course, they manage to win the upcoming election and win a second consecutive term. The question still remains, what next for Sachin Pilot? Do you think the Congress can still, pull a rabbit out of the hat and ensure that he does not leave the party fold? Because there are those like Rashid Kidwai who say that Sachin Pilot is a pragmatic leader. There aren't too many options for him even outside of the Congress party, and he knows it.
Well, the problem, Neha, is that Gehlot wants to see the back of him.
I agree.
And the Gandhis don't have the guts to buck Gehlot. So what's going to happen is that Sachin Pilot will have to leave. They can't accommodate him in any sensible post anywhere else because they don't have any. I mean, this Surjewala business won't wet his whistle. So he will at last become his own boss. What it will do in the coming elections, one doesn't know as yet. Now, to talk of Vasundhara Raje for a moment, the BJP isn't terribly happy with her grip on things.
Except that, your party or the party you support does not have much of a choice either, Mr. Mukherjee, except to go with Vasundhara. The BJP does not have much of a choice either in Rajasthan.
That remains to be seen. According to Vasundhara Radio, it is that you can't do without me. According
okay,
to
I hope you're
Amit
not
Shah
calling me
and
Vasundhara
so on,
Radio.
maybe they're trying to figure out a way to do without her.
Okay, she is the tallest leader of the party in Rajasthan.
Remains to be seen between now and December.
Okay.
And Rajesh Pilot has no real role in this, but at least he'll stop being diddled out of everything and treated as a non-entity. He will be his own man, and he's very young, and it's not over till it's over.
Okay, at least Gautam Mukherjee will be very happy to see Sachin Pilot out of the Congress party fold. And I hope you were not referring to me as Vasundhara Radio, because I'm sure you would agree that she is the most popular face of the BJP in Rajasthan. Well, we'll have to wait to see which way the people of Rajasthan vote in the upcoming election. But the million-dollar question still remains, what is Sachin Pilot going to do? Hello and welcome. welcome. You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha Khanna. And on this show, we are going to talk about the politics unfolding in poll-bound Rajasthan. A lot has been said about the Congress leadership's desperate efforts to work out a peace formula in the party's Rajasthan unit after months or rather years of internal wrangling and an endless power tussle between Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and his former deputy and now Betunwa, Sachin Pilot. But was that truce really short-lived? Latest media reports suggest that the man once described as the Congress's young Turk and future Chief Minister, Sachin Pilot, has had enough and is contemplating walking out of the grand old party and floating his own political outfit. If reports are to be believed, this party could be called Pragatishil Congress, and Pilot may in fact announce its launch on the 11th of June, the death anniversary of his late father and veteran Congress leader Rajesh Pilot. Reports also say Congress's dissident leader is being helped with the groundwork for the formation of his new political party by Prashant Kishore's political consultancy firm IPAC. There's also speculation about the possibility of Pilot aligning with the Hanuman Beniwal's Rashtriya Loktantrik Party and the Aam Aadmi Party as part of a possible third front in Rajasthan, which goes to polls later this year. Remember, in recent months, Sachin Pilot has publicly attacked his own party's government in Rajasthan, and the primary brunt of his attacks has been borne by Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Not only that, Pilot even held a one-day fast in April and a 5-day Padyatra in May in protest against the Gehlot government's alleged inaction against corruption. Pilot has also accused Gehlot of being hand in glove with BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. Of course, this is an ongoing battle. In the past, Gehlot has publicly accused Pilot of colluding with the BJP to topple his government. The question now is, can the Congress prevent yet another prominent leader from leaving its fold? Can the party still manage to placate Sachin Pilot and accommodate him in a larger national role? Or is it already too late for that? Is Pilot ready to take off, snap ties with the Congress and launch his own party? Will Pilot's exit be a serious setback to the Congress? Can he hurt the party in the upcoming Rajasthan Assembly polls? Will other Congress MLAs follow Sachin Pilot and leave the party? What would such a move mean for Sachin Pilot, the Congress party and Rajasthan politics?
In view of the upcoming Rajasthan Assembly election, Congress President and Rahul Gandhi ji had a detailed 4-hour-long discussion with Ashok Gehlot ji and Sachin Pilot ji and in charge also. In this discussion, we have decided to fight election unitedly. Both of are in agreement that Congress party has to go together and definitely we will win election in Rajasthan.
और मेरा ख्याल है जी अखबारों में और मीडिया में कुछ लोग उछाल रही हैं बात, और ऐसी बात कोई नहीं है। अभी तक कोई बात नहीं है, मेरे ख्याल ये बात होगी भी नहीं।
सर, दिल्ली में 4 घंटे बैठक हुई, क्या उसमें?
देखिए, हमने 4 घंटे बैठकर अलग अलग बात राहुल जी और खड़गे जी और वेणुगोपाल जी ने इनके साथ बात की है, और इन दोनों की जो बातें थी उनको बड़े ध्यान से और प्यार से सुना गया, और दोनों को कहा गया कि आप इकट्ठे मिलकर कांग्रेस के एसेट हैं, दोनों मिलकर काम करेंगे, और दोनों ने कहा कि हम दोनों मिलकर काम करेंगे।
All right. Let's now go across to our guests. Joining me on the show today, Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist. Gautam Mukherjee, also senior journalist, is with us, as is Manasvi Thapar, political analyst and a supporter of the Congress. Rashid Kidwai, let me start with you. On the 29th of May, KC Venugopal, flanked by Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, gave that soundbite to the media saying, "We will fight the Rajasthan elections unitedly." Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge held 4-hour-long discussions with the two leaders. But it looks like the truce may have been short-lived. If the latest reports are to be believed, Sachin Pilot has had enough and is all set to take off. He may have decided to leave the Congress, launch his own political party, and he may in fact announce it on the 11th of June. That happens to be the death anniversary of his father. What are your sources telling you? Has Sachin Pilot had enough? Has he completely run out of patience? And has he decided to now strike out on his own?
Thank you, Neha. I think somewhat this whole build-up of he is splitting a party or leaving the party is bit exaggerated. The ball is in Congress central leadership's court. There were certain assurances, a roadmap was worked out on the meeting that you are referring to on May 29, and the Congress, that means Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and KC Venugopal, has to communicate certain things to Mr. Ashok Gehlot. Remember, Mr. Sachin Pilot had sat on a dharna and done Padyatra for 2, 3 demands. One demand is very simple and not difficult to implement. That is about, having some kind of Ashok Gehlot government are going for some kind of probe against the alleged cases of corruption, etc., against the previous Vasundhara Raje government. Now, this is a very doable thing. I don't know why it is causing a delay. From my understanding, I don't think Mr. Sachin Pilot is going anywhere. He is there. He would wait for every day. See, the June 11th that you're talking about, it's a very solemn occasion for Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot, he is young, but he's also very measured. He's very restrained. He doesn't act, on impulse or emotions. So I don't see him walking out of Congress on his own unless the Congress acts against him. So, which I also know that Mr. Kharge or Rahul Gandhi would not do. So, it is this thing is going to go on. It's going to be a protracted, war of attrition. There seems to be brinkmanship, but a solution is very much is on the cards.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai, I want to ask you this. It is certainly not my case that Sachin Pilot is all set to leave the party and launch his own political outfit. These are, of course, reports that have come out. Now, you referred to some of the demands that he's raised. You're saying that they're not particularly difficult to meet. One is a probe against former Chief Minister and BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. He wants the Rajasthan Public Service Commission to be reconstituted, and he wants compensation for youth who suffered due to question paper leaks. However, Rashid Kidwai, you have covered the Congress party for a very long time. You know the party better than most others. Let's face it, Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot's feud is not confined to these issues at all. In fact, most Congress observers will agree that it has absolutely nothing to